everything that happened to me in 2021 is just, we to some degree we got our lives back. 2020 was just one of the darkest periods of my life. And, 2021, we were after a long, cold year. 2020, we were able to go out and do stuff. We were able to take another trip, and that's probably what the highlight of 2021 was. We got to take our trip to Houston, and just got to go out and just be with our bros. Even when we should go out just to do stuff, or I go to like a baseball game or a football game, just be able to go out and just experience life. And we're all vaccinated. We've taken the steps to protect ourselves. And there was times in 2020 you wonder, we'll ever get to do fun things we like to do again. And again, things aren't normal by any means. COVID's still out there, still a threat. But I was glad that we were able to get closer to just. I'm glad we're able to have fun again. And that's my favorite part of 2021. It's been a tough year because I don't think it was the year we thought we would have. I think everybody assumed that COVID would be in the rearview mirror. I mean, again, I think we're starting to become more just this COVID's a thing, but it's still in the norm. It's still a part of our lives. So in that sense, that's disappointing, but just excited we're in the spot we're in.
Just another shot. We gotta get to now, I guess.
I got mine.
Get a shot every 3 months, guys.
I might say every 3 months.
Sign up.
Yeah, so actually fully vaccinated, you have to have 6 of your shots. Now. You only have 5
shots.
I mean, not fully vaccinated.
I need you to get in the back of the line and get in the 6 shot line.
Sorry, we only let 6 shotters in here. All right, you only have 5. Can't come in the bar.
Oh, chill.
I guess for me, one of my favorite things that's happened to me this year has kind of just been I guess on a professional level, just kind of feeling more responsible and feeling like I've been able to take on more things. I was able to move up in my job and things like that. I feel like I was able to prove to myself that I'm capable of handling certain things, being more responsible, kind of step into leadership positions, and just feeling like you're able to take that type of pressure and just be all right, cool, I can do this. It'll be fine. Things may be a little stressful for a day or so, but I got this. I'm gonna figure it out. And I think that's been one of the biggest things for me is just kind of feeling confident in yourself and just feeling like I can do this. There are things that you probably never thought you may do before, but you're all right, I'm gonna do this. The other day, I moderated a webinar that had over 1,000 people with it. That seems kind of stressful, man. But it's I did pretty well. I did okay. I realize I say a lot, but I definitely, bro, we really do. Yeah. But I definitely felt proud of myself, and it's just you're able to do things, handle things. And I think that's been one of the biggest things for me, just proving things to myself this year. It's been a year of just reflection and kind of sort of being able to say, all right, can you do this? And just being able to put yourself under the gun and just live up to the expectation that you have for yourself. Or even if you're not able to, for lack of a better word, meet your goal, just kind of sort of learn from that experience. Be all right, this may not have went the way that I wanted it to, but at the same time, I learned from it. And now I know how to react a little bit better next time. And so I definitely think that's been one of the biggest things for me this year. It's just been learning about myself and just kind of getting more confidence in myself and my ability to do things and live up to the lofty expectations that I've set for myself.
No, that's big, man. That's big. And I have a very similar one. I feel like this age that we're in, is very much about okay, we put in the work in college, or okay, it's between now and 30 and a little past 30 is the time where you're kind of okay, I'm out here, I'm in the real world, time to put to use everything I learned, all the skills that I've gained, all the experiences that I've had up to this point, and we'll really just come to realize that a lot of the stuff that you experienced in your past kind of tie together to bring you to this point. And I think for me that's what this year specifically at 28 I'm realizing that a lot of the experiences that I had brought me to where I am today. And a lot of times for me personally it's been tough because a lot of the jobs that I've had, a lot of the experiences I've had, I felt I didn't really have control over. I felt so my pastor introduced me to one guy. That's how I got my first job, right? And so then from there, it's been them introducing me to other people. And it's felt you don't really have control, but when you really kind of look back, and I think it's important at our age to kind of look back and reflect on the experiences that you've been through, the relationships that you had, the people that you've known, that it really kind of comes together to build this big picture. And I think from 28 to 30 is an important checkpoint in everybody's life where they really just kind of realize those things and can see those things and kind of you're setting I call these the foundation years. You're really laying the foundation. You're taking these experiences to build upon those experiences for Because now you're starting to think about kids, or now you're starting to think about the next level. Now you're starting to think about like growth in your company or promotions and all that stuff. So I think that's what this year was for me. And I think, especially like Aaron was saying, like coming off of 2020, where we had that pandemic and we finally got to some sense of normalcy this year, like just a taste of it. Like, of course, we never thought that we'd still be in in COVID this long, but still, like the fact that like we're learning to adapt, and a lot of us have have learned new things about ourselves that we didn't know before. And I think I probably said this in our 2020 like end of year episode, but like we're learning a lot more things with ourselves, like whether that's from like the remote learning, like, or I mean not remote learning, but working remotely, or like being like having just spending that time at home, or like with our loved ones more. Like we're making a conscious effort like to focus on ourselves, and I think that's becoming more socially acceptable, and that's one thing that I love about this year. I think that's becoming like more normal, like across the board. So I mean, for me, like that's been the whole thing for me.
For me, I feel like it's been like two parts. One, it's been a lot of personal growth. 2021 for me, and I feel like a lot of my when I look on the review, I feel like a lot of like my hard work and a lot of like tough days or tough nights have all finally like started to pay off. Like, you know, I was able to buy my first home, you know, and you know what I'm saying, like putting that work in, like when I look back on you know, the long days or the early mornings, and you're just like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? But then you just gotta continue to remind yourself, like, one day is all gonna pay off. And, you know, it just speaks to just like, you know, having a good network, you know what I'm saying, and having a good outlet, and just remembering your why when, you know what I'm saying, you're going to work, not just like punching in just because society tells you. It's like it's for a greater purpose. And that's something that I really like has come to fruition. Like, it's still days where I come home after a long day of work and just pop on my bed and look in the ceiling. It's like, wow, it's just like mine. So, like, that just shows you, like, if you stay down, you stay humble, and you stay, like, you know, with your foot on the gas, like, you can achieve anything you want. It might not be instant gratification, but it will be some down the road. And it's never really, a lot of people have always told me that, but I've never, like, achieved it. And so now I can actually, like, tell listeners, and I can tell other people, like, it's the truth. Like, when a lot of people sometimes tell you advice or tell you things about something you've never experienced, you kind of sometimes take it with a grain of salt. And I'm a true believer that you, like, if you see people that they say they're about it, and you see them, like, embodying that, then it probably happened. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, that's something I learned professionally. Again, learned a lot, learned to continue to be a great leader. As for the world, you know what I'm saying, I'm like really, like, I know you guys touched on COVID, I know we touched on, you know, just the way like life is shaped. I feel like a lot of things have like just come to a head, like a lot of racial issues, a lot of supply chain issues, a lot of things that have impacted our lives that have been going on around us that we've been really, like naive to, because this has been a fast-paced world these last 10 years. And now that COVID has finally like caused us to really like slow down and be at home and really reflect on a lot of things. It's kind of like, I feel a new era is coming in the workforce, in our personal life, our social life, our dynamics between each other and the way we interact with each other. And I feel like we're seeing a renaissance, and I know anything that's good that's going to happen, there's going to be a time and a period where it's going to be rocky and tough. But I feel like in the future, like, we're going to look back on it and we're going to come out a better, like, society, hopefully, than we did when we were pre-pandemic. So, but yeah, I love it, you know.
All hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 2021 has definitely been definitely a transition year. Like, I feel like 2021 is going to be like one of those years where, like, it wasn't like a year that you remember, oh, this happened in 2021, but like it was like a transition year. Like, we're still transitioning out of the end. 2021 is gonna be a year you're gonna remember for freaking ever. You know what I mean? Like, what, 1964, 1960, whatever year that was, a lot of shit happened. 2020 is one of those years. 2021 is one of those years we're transitioning out of like the craziness that was 2020 and everything it entailed. You know, one of the things that for 2021 is we're still going strong with the podcast. You know, and you know. Things aren't always smooth, I'll be honest with you, but like we're still going strong 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, into this. And you know, I think that's something in general I think I'd always like to applaud us for just keeping it going and just there's some passion projects, labor of love.
Yeah, even through the difficult moments, we come back.
Yeah,
that's like one of the biggest things.
It's a lot of work in marriage,
bro. Definitely, because a lot of people they wouldn't come back, and I mean like some people wouldn't come back for the positives of like you trying to like make sure your friendships are okay or those type of things. But like we always come back. We figure it out, and we're able to just like make sure that we here as a unit. Like the Temptations is a party of four at the end of the day. And it's always nice that all four of us are here. It sounds stupid, but I mean,
that's real. So and I think we really taken strides this past year to have some really good episodes where we touched on some good topics. Like one of my favorite episodes, just looking at the run sheet, the outlines we have, we talked about college. Is college worth it? And I like a lot because we cover a lot of different topics, but I like that topic because stuff like that. I always say, again, if this podcast never makes a dime, if nothing else, we can have something that we can give to our kids, or we can my brother listens and he can listen, or maybe somebody's cousin listens. You can just get
your brother be sitting around the dorm in his house and hey, come listen to this shit.
He just hip to the game.
You want to tell him what dorm he's into?
Hey, look, man, my bad. It's a big ass school with thousands of kids.
I'm kidding.
I know they gonna pick him up.
I'm kidding, but just something that that's a tangible conversation that might help somebody right there. And, we can talk about a lot of different things, but that was one of my favorite episodes. We got really detailed because we all went to college and we all we can attribute our success to college, but for some people their journey might be different, and that's totally fine. And you see that more and more, and that kind of goes against the notion that because I feel like a lot of people, especially from black families or minority families, their parents are all about go to college, and there might be some gray area to that, and we cover a topic like that.
Yeah,
and you can go through our catalog. We have a lot of different topics. Our episode before this, we talk about rappers passing away, or we talk about we did a live show this year, Juneteenth, celebrating just black shit, black life, which is beautiful.
I forgot about that.
But we did a lot of cool things. Oh, do you want to talk about that?
That's okay. You took it. It's cool.
I didn't say.
I just brought it up. We didn't give it a description.
You know what I'm saying? That would be my favorite one. Is Juneteenth, because it was so unique. We did our Aaron said, we did our first live show, and it also was coincide with it being the first Juneteenth. It was being official first holiday. That was super cool. And it being a part of a block party and seeing different communities get together. I would say
we got
different
great
races.
feedback.
Got great feedback, and different cultures getting together to celebrate emancipation, and it just validated a lot of the hard work that a lot of people came before us. We still have a lot of work to do, but again, man, we gotta celebrate every single milestone like it's the best thing in the world, because a lot of people have sacrificed their lives, their livelihood, their time to get us to where we are, and it's up to us to continue to push that message. But all that being said, is just the versatility of this group that we have here, to be able to talk about that in an articulate way, and be able to have the I don't want to say gall, but have the confidence to go out and do a live show and do something out of our norm. Yeah. And that just speaks volumes to us trying to, continue to grow. And, the sky's the limit to go into 2022, because, we got to figure out a way to one up that, just to continue to diversify ourselves. So that's definitely why it's probably one of my favorite episodes.
Temptations Cruise coming 2022.
Ooh.
Yahtzee.
Talk about that years. Yeah.
Nah, going off of that though, my favorite episode that we did this year was it was different than what other people said. My favorite one was honestly just the intakes, because I feel that was another side of what we do. We always, for as much as we pride ourselves on being diverse or talking about different things. And if you listen to the last episode, we spent a good amount of time talking about fast food. The first 5 or 10 minutes is about fast food, and this is the second time or so that we've done that. But I just enjoyed the intakes episode because we just kind of got to just. It was our regular conversation, bro. We just talking, we just sitting here just shooting shit and just talking about things that go through our minds. Bro, I got to go on a 10-minute rant about how I don't like Nas. I don't get to do that very often.
Choice that was bad. No, but that's embodies intakes.
That's real, bro. It's our opinion. It's these things that we think about. It's bro, we all have these peculiar things, and a lot of stuff eludes me, but it's like, you're thinking about something Malik was saying. It was like, while mine was just about, Belly and Nas, Malik went into like a serious conversation about
socio-economic topics.
About like social programs. Like, I mean, whether you agree or disagree, that is your opinion. But I'm just saying, like, you just kind of like get to see like, oh, okay, this is how everybody's brain works. Even in as much as the topics that we chose to talk about.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I chose like a playful topic because I'm not a very serious individual 9 times out of 10. Malik is pretty laid back too, but he chose what he was passionate about. It just kind of like continues on to this whole thing of like the different things that we're all interested in and just like our different voices. Like, honestly, I think that's like one of our just, even if it ain't one of the best, it's one of like the more entertaining episodes to me, just because, everybody's like explaining things that, they like or dislike and like giving so much opinion. Like, I mean, we've had great episodes before, don't get me wrong, but I mean, there's always going to be like an episode where it's like, 2 or 3 of us may be passionate about an issue and some of us aren't. It just is what it is. Like, sometimes when we get serious about stuff, I know I may like lean back and just recline, just chill because I'm like, all right, I care, but it's just like, this ain't it's like, honestly, just sometimes it ain't my thing. Like, like everybody feels passionate about different things. And don't mean you don't care, but it's like sometimes we just don't like to talk about our perspectives. Yeah. And I like episodes like that because it forces all of us to like talk. It forces all of us to kind of just explain the things that we think about. Like, otherwise, we have our regular episodes. It's like, yeah, we all will like have this awkward one where we'll look at the fourth person and be like, you want to add something, nigga? But I mean, it's just like, we ain't doing that. It's just like, everybody just kind of, it's a free for all. That's how
you feel about
right at you too.
How you feel about
like I sit right across
you gonna eat your cornbread?
No, man, fuck you. I'm gonna eat my cornbread.
No, it's important. Like, we all gotta, bro. Like I said, we're a party for. You want to hear what all of us think. Yeah. Even honestly, even if your opinions, I don't care. Like, I do want to hear. I do want to hear what your opinion is, even if you don't care. It's like, all right, why don't you care? Let me know. And I think it's important.
It's great. I don't really, I hate to be that guy, but I don't really have like a favorite episode. But like this year, really, like this year, this is the year we took like a different direction with how we were gonna do episodes in general. Like, we decided that we were gonna talk a lot more real issues that have to do with like the average, everyday Joe or the everyday person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that they go through, like whether that's relationships, college, like like all those different types, like voting, like we talked about a lot of things that a lot of people experience in their everyday life, and I think that's what made this year like the most important. I think we finally found our stride. Like, we finally found like what our focus was gonna be as a podcast, as a group. And as friends, and I think this year also, one thing that also makes it my favorite. I mean, even though it was probably one of the more challenging years, but we also like had a lot more real conversations about like what we wanted to do personally in our lives. Like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we doing the podcast? Like, why are we like what do we each bring to this table? And I think that's important as friends. And I say this all the time. This podcast has literally sharpened the friendship in my opinion, because it allows us a space to be more vulnerable. When you leave these podcasts thinking like, oh, I ain't know Malik thought like that. Oh, I ain't know Aaron thought like that. No, don't. He's like, some shit you knew, but like it's a lot of things. He got it. But it's a lot of things. It's like, oh damn, like I didn't really know his really perspective. I didn't know what his passion point is. And I feel, especially with guys, like, definitely, not at this surface level, but it's like a lot of times we just talk about girls, like going out, like this or that, but like it's like
cool.
It's a lot of superficial conversations.
A lot of superficial shit, like, or even sports. Like, we would, like, a lot of us hide behind that, like. But like a lot of the shit that we talked about this year, like, is a lot deeper than that. Relationships, like, as a man, like the struggles that you go through, like staying faithful, like all that type of stuff, like is tough conversations that I think is important for black men, young guys to have, like, in general. So that's what makes this year really my favorite. Like, we found our stride. We've opened ourselves up, and that's one thing I hope we build on, like, in the years to come.
Yeah. I mean, going in again 2021, and already going to 2022.
Bro, this year was a blur.
It was a blur. And honestly, like, the way I look at it every year, I'm always excited to see what the next thing life has in store for me, for all of us. life changes so quickly. Like, you know, like the job that I had, like your situation can change, your family situation can change. Like, this year, 2022 will probably look a lot different than 2021 to me in a variety of ways. So, you know, you just never know time to time, like what can happen, what changes you'll see, and, you know, good and bad. And, you know, I look at it as, a lot of people don't like to talk about getting older and all that stuff. I actually find it, like, exciting just to see what else is coming. You know?
But that's good. That's good.
In the room.
Nah,
That's good.
you're right. That's why I get depressed on my birthdays. I'm getting older.
You know,
That's the point
I'm
right
excited
now.
to see.
Unravel this nigga.
We ain't got no time.
But there's like still so much for us to accomplish and get done, and like milestones to hit, like, and you know, or maybe things happen you don't think are happening, or things I don't know. It's just like that's the only way to rationalize getting older. Just like new shit happens, and you know, the good and the bad, and that's life.
It's an adventure.
It is literally an adventure. Like you're not lying.
It sounds mad cliche, but that's exactly what it is.
You just do not know what's behind door number.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm about to say, you don't know what's behind door number 2022.
Yeah.
Like we all get adjusted, like Aaron said. Like, you know, we all get adjusted to our routine, our little pattern that we set up. The next thing you know, everything changes, bro. Man, like life is a funny motherfucker, bro. The way it can just change.
Yeah, it really is.
That's how you adapt and how you pivot.
Yeah, so I mean, we're moving into 2022. I'm just excited to see what's next for us. You know, like I mean, you know, obviously you pray for good
Sounds like
good
this.
times and good
Yeah.
health and all that. Like
Definitely good health.
You know, like
Yeah.
the only way we get through just time getting older. Just
I see doctors still out there.
and also just being grateful for the shit we do have. Like we got got a good support system around us. I got good bros. Like y'all got good bro, whatever. Like. Got relationships that you had, like, you know, be blessed and just continue to grow and just build on the positivity and stuff like that. Because, like, the negative times are going to happen, like, you know, but enjoy the positive times, I guess. And that's, you know, I'm just excited to see what 2022 brings for myself personally and for the podcast.
Damn, that's a good way to close it, man.
Oh, wait! I got the plane sound effect for the first time ever. Like I actually closed one.
That was good.
I thought that was pretty good.
Holy shit! I'm gonna stop right now.
That's like when somebody prays and like, anybody got anything to say? No,
Don't pass it.
I don't know if
got
this
it.
ever
You did
happened.
pass
I'm
it.
so happy right now. I'm gonna call my mom.
That would be end of the year, right? Good job.
Wow.
Hey, you know, some good stuff right there, Aaron. You're doing good, man. You're good.
Like open up a good.
All right, guys. I'm beyond. I got a couple offers from couple different podcasts.
Damn, here we
Hey,
go.
listen,
Here we go with the bullshit.
All
Here we go.
Let's
go.
go. Don't let this motherfucker.
Go ahead and leave.
Nigga hit one walk off. Next thing you know,
All right. Everything I said was bullshit in this episode. I just.
I'm not happy.
Like,
Growth,
all right.
please.
I need
Growth
a
in
little-
this podcast.
I need advance
please.
on my next payments. I got.
So you stealing money too?
You
You also stealing?
Nah, don't say two.
Oh, my bad. Excuse me. You're stealing money?
But I mean, again, I guess I'm glad to keep doing this podcast with you guys. I enjoy it. You know, just thank you guys for being there, and we actually learned a lot and shit. And we said everything we probably needed to say, but I just want to say thank you to you guys. And thank you to the listeners. More importantly, our listeners and people who interact with us on social media.
Definitely. Thank you.
Like, you guys are amazing, and we really appreciate it.
You respond to any of the polls.
Yes,
Hell
thank you
yeah.
so much.
Or leave any comments, anything
Yeah.
like man. We just love the support. We toast y'all, but all our glasses are empty. That's how we
I'm
get
about
down.
to say it.
That's how we get down to
Honestly, you guys are the most
limitation,
important
man.
thing. You guys dictate the podcast, basically. You
Beyond
guys,
comments, bro. Listen.
beyond comments, listens, all that. Your attention is like basically like decides the direction of this podcast. So thank everybody out there listening. People have been rocking us with us since 2018. People who just started like
You got niggas in the
everybody.
Netherlands.
The people in Lithuania, shout out to all
Yeah,
y'all.
shout out to y'all, man. Turn me up on the radio real quick, man. Put some more logs in the fire.
So we're gonna try to we're always gonna try to upgrade. And we always gonna keep it like we're always gonna have jokes for you guys and go just like this. I don't know, I missed what the joke was, but I'm sure it was funny.
Like, Malik's getting played in the War Tour Lithuania. Apparently, Darian's getting played in the Vikings. I don't know how this is going.
I know the tanks outside a little loud.
All right.
Turn me up, man.
All right, so we're gonna end this.
Anyway, in 2022, we're gonna try to be more sensitive to different people's cultures and also give you guys better podcasts, better topics, better guests, Bigger live shows, Hentations Cruise. Look out for 2022. We'll be a year stronger, a year wiser. It'll be.
We actually gotta do this Hentations Cruise at some point.
South End, we're gonna get a dinghy.
Alright, so for the 2021 Hentations, we'll take our Hentations yearbook picture after this. It's your man, Shut Up Cole.
Yeah, it's your man, Zombie WB. Thank y'all again.
Hey, it's your boy Blake, they be geeking me. Shout out to y'all.
Super slur. Shout out
to y'all.
And it's your boy Darian, aka Clark Kent. Happy New Year, y'all. These are the Hentations.
Baby, you ain't got nothing